To be honest with you, I don't even know why I'm surprised at this point. I said it myself in a previous video that the Nintendo Switch is probably going to be hacked extremely easily. It's got NVIDIA hardware in it. Isn't that more familiar than AMD type stuff? Like more script kiddies are able to do applications with it and such. I mean, the NVIDIA Shield basically has the same exact GPU hardware as a Nintendo Switch, I think. But even though I said all that stuff, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. I'm clueless when it comes to stuff like this. But I just presumed it looking at previous stuff that's happened in the past with stuff regarding this. But I mean, already, nigga, 2 weeks after the Switch launch, and we have it hacked. I don't know what the basis of this is. I didn't look up too much information, but if you were on Twitter yesterday, and by the way, you need to check out Twitter for yourself because you're missing out on juicy shit like this. Things like this pop up all the time. Don't even worry about following me on Twitter. Just make sure you get yourself a Twitter account so you can stay in the know. But this screenshot, or rather, picture was posted yesterday on Twitter by someone with a really long name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. And it shows a Nintendo Switch with a laptop program open up in the background. I don't know what any of this stuff means. And on the screen, you can see it says done. And I think that's the actual Nintendo Switch browser. Some people might be a little bit confused saying, wait a minute, Etika, there is no browser on the Nintendo Switch. But there actually is. It's used to connect to Wi-Fi that's not your home. And it's also used for certain eShop applications and Nintendo Network stuff and My Nintendo and all that. The thing is that it's not really open for you to use and you can't edit addresses and go back and forth in them. I guess that's a precaution in hacking, but it doesn't really seem like that's going to help them for too much longer because this shit is already done. As you can see from the screen, it's done, literally. So as on the Twitter post, you can see that it got like 1,056 likes, 325 favorites. Now, when I saw this yesterday, I didn't know what the fuck this screenshot of the Switch saying done on it meant, but apparently this is a major thing for the hacking scene. I can't express enough how incredibly eye-opening this is. Like, I did not expect this shit. Like I said, maybe 3 months down the line, but 2 weeks, nigga. Is this like a world record for a new console to get shit running on it, hacked up shit? I don't know. Now, even though we don't have too much information, there's actually a page made about this from one of the most notorious Sony hackers in history. If you've been involved in the Sony scene, then you know this name. My nigga Wololo, I think that's how I say his name. He actually made a post on his website about this, which hopefully will give us a little bit more information about what this exploit is and how it could be used in the future and potential homebrew applications or other interesting tidbits it can bring to the Nintendo Switch in the future. Now, I had actually asked one of my hacker friends who's been in the ring with Nintendo a few times. I asked him, dude, if there's anything interesting with the Switch, is it going on right now? And he told me, yes, there's a lot of juicy shit that's being worked on in a certain Discord and certain places on the internet. So don't be surprised if something pops up soon. Well, there's your pop-up right there. If we check out the website, it says the Nintendo Switch already hacked through a known vulnerability. It appears the not-so-well-hidden Nintendo Switch browser shipped with a bunch of old vulnerabilities that hackers were able to leverage. Yesterday, hacker, this guy, known for jailbreaks of multiple iOS versions, who also contributed to the PS4 1.76 jailbreak, posted a screenshot of what seems to be a WebKit exploit running on the Switch using iOS stuff. Like, what the fuck, man? I thought this was more of an Android looking kind of hardware, man. Like more of an Android OS. Now we got iOS in here? Nah, I'm being stupid. According to the hacker, all he had to do was slightly tweak his existing Jailbreak Me iOS WebKit exploit. And here's the thing that I find really astonishing too. He says right here with the quotes, all he had to do. So that shows you this isn't difficult at all. It seemed like the nigga did this with a little bit of spare time and that's it. Just a little code he had laying around and bam, he got a damn exploit running on the Switch. Jesus Christ, this could really be the console of the damn future, man. Easy to hack, take it anywhere you want to go. I'm pretty impressed by this. And remove iOS specific code from it. Although the guy has not provided any proof of release besides a screenshot, the hacker's reputation makes it highly unlikely to be a hoax. I don't have access to the hack or Nintendo Switch here to verify. It might actually be the first time in history that people could get their hands on a console hack more easily than the console itself. Nig, are you kidding me? This is real. Is this really real? Yo, I need more info. What could this mean for the future, Wololo? What does this mean? This implies Nintendo might have rushed the release of the Switch if they released it with known WebKit vulnerabilities on the browser. I doubt they assume people would not think of tampering with the browser on day one. So the browser really has some shit. Like, remember, they didn't include it for the public to use, but because of that, maybe they didn't put too much attention on enhancing the security features of the browser itself. So when you hack the ability to use the browser, you have access to some of the most interesting, juicy bits of the Nintendo Switch, man. You might be able to get straight to the goddamn kernel itself. I know that's a huge thing if you're able to access the kernel of a certain hardware on the NAND and all that stuff. Do I know? Do I sound like I know what I'm talking about? Because I really fucking don't, but I think I do. People with particular sets of skills. Liam Neeson can participate, but I was more thinking of people with programming and hacking backgrounds and access to a Switch might be able to easily verify the claim. The guy's jailbreak code can apparently be found here for people to play with. I'm suspecting that for many hackers in the particular 3DS and Wii U scene were already looking into the similar vulnerabilities. The guy already started digging deeper, mentioning that the Switch syscalls don't look like free. Okay, I don't know what any of this means, but this is all good news, basically. If we keep looking, it says the Nintendo Switch hacks. What it means for the end user. This is what we want to know. For now, this hack doesn't mean much for the end user. Nothing's been released yet, and this is only a userland exploit. Although it might allow running unsigned code, hackers are typically after a bigger prey, kernel access. You see that? Kernel access. I mentioned that earlier in the damn video. I know what I'm talking about, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if nothing was released until hackers get a better understanding of the Switch's internals and potentially find privilege escalation vulnerabilities, aka kernel exploits. But since the vulnerability is apparently public, it is very likely that Nintendo will quickly release a firmware update with a patch for the Switch. And this is where, if you got a second Switch that you're not hacking or whatever, this is the, well, you want it for hacking. If you got a second Switch, then just leave that shit alone. I think you can only update it to get the eShop update. And then after that, don't do nothing else with it. Because already Nintendo's fucking up. 2 weeks down the line, they got to release a damn security patch. Impressive as hell. As always, people looking to hack their console will wait patiently on a low firmware. And that is the story right there. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So, as you heard from Wololo himself, this particular hack doesn't mean anything for guys looking to get custom applications running on the Switch. I mean, we might at this point, however, have Netflix on the Switch way before Nintendo decides to release it. Nah, I'm playing. I'm being an asshole. But, you know, stuff like that is potentially possible. And I can't wait to see what this little super powerful handheld is capable of in the hands of some custom firmware applications. It's kind of looking real bright for the future of the Nintendo Switch and the hacking scene. I mean, I don't advocate for piracy or whatever, but hacks and exploits to use the system's hardware to push cool custom applications is always a plus for me. What do you guys think of this? This could lead into something very, very good for us as Switch users down the line. Maybe even something at the end of this year. Who knows? I'm presuming then. But if something comes out earlier, fuck me in the ass. Take care of yourselves, and of course, as usual, please have yourself a damn good one. Peace.